Hello, this is Romeo Cat Computers, and today I will be doing a video about this little telephone box that I made. So this is a four-way telephone party line, and it supports just any old analog telephone without needing to make any modification. And it is powered off of a 9-volt battery. So in this video I will be showing you a demonstration of it working, and then I will be opening it up and showing you the insides. And then I will show you the wiring diagram and different ways you can do this at home very easily. So let's get started. So I will start the demonstration by going over the different devices I have. First, I have this Panasonic telephone. It's an office phone, and I actually got this at Goodwill for $2 used, so it was a pretty good deal. It's actually got 2 lines, and I can switch between them with these buttons. However, I'm only making use of one, so I will be using line 1. Second, I got this new phone at Walmart for $10 in the box, and this is meant for a home setting. And then it's just a standard analog phone, nothing special about it. It runs off of 3 AA batteries to save the time and date and all of that. But other than that, it does all of the telephone stuff from what is provided on the telephone line. And then finally I have this older one. It is an AT&T Trimline 210, and it doesn't run off of batteries. And the only thing really notable about it is that the keypad actually lights up when there's voltage on the line. So let me plug them in. So first I will start with the Panasonic office phone. And since these are all going to the same party line, it doesn't matter which jacks I plug them into. Next, I will plug the AT&T trim line in. And then, if I can find the cord here, the Walmart phone. So, by the way, I didn't mention this. This is made by VTech. You can see the logo there. So, I can't easily demonstrate the audio, but I can show a couple things. So, you can see first the keypad lights up. If I change this to tone dialing, this one's very loud, so I can press buttons and you can hear it. There's a bit of static, but that's just because this old phone is making the static. It's nothing to do with the line. And then, of course, we have this one. Then, of course, you can do the old trick where you put the microphone to the speaker, or no, yeah, and then the speaker to the other microphone. Then it makes an annoying noise. And then, of course, we got the Panasonic office phone. It doesn't really output buttons very well, because this one's very, very quiet for some reason. But again, that's not because of the line, that's just the telephone itself. So, and then if I change to pulse dialing, you can see how the line pulses. So, anyway, let's move on. Okay, so here I've got the box, and I've got the camera propped up so that I can use both hands. So, this, it's just an external plastic back box. You can tell it's external because you would mount it on a wall with these screw holes. And then just this keystone plate that holds 4 keystones. And then the way I hold this on is just with some standard flathead screws that you'd find in something like a light switch or an outlet cover. So, let me open this. So that's the first screw. Then I just need to unscrew the second one. It's very simple to get into. And once that is unscrewed, you will be able to see what is inside. So, right away it pops forward because the wires are holding it forward. And so, what you'll see here is a bunch of twisted pairs. I took the tip and ring, which is the red and green, and I twisted them together coming out of each jack. The reason I twisted them is because when they're in pairs, I can easily tell what pair goes to what jack and what wires go together, because each jack has 2, the tip and ring. Now you'll notice I have the DSL red or yellow and black, and that's just because that I chopped up a bunch of cables to get the tip and ring, and I had these yellow and black left over, so I thought that I could just use these. Now, right here you'll see there's a chunk of wood with some screws. Now, my soldering skills, I can solder, but I'm not very good, and I don't really have stuff like heat shrink and all of that, which I'd like to use. So, I did the next best thing, and I screwed all of the wires down onto this little board, using just some plain old screws that you'd screw into wood. And then, of course, there's my 9-volt battery. Now, I don't want to fiddle with this too much, because I spent, like, I want to say, like, 10 minutes trying to get everything into the perfect position so that I could actually get this closed. It was very frustrating, but it finally got in right. Especially with the screws sticking out, because the wood is thinner than the screws. So the way I have my party line box set up is very simple. So to power the operation, I have a 9-volt battery and a 200 ohm current limiting resistor. Now, it's suggested that you use something like 300 or 320 ohm, but I did not have that at the time, and so 200 works fine for me. And of course, if you're using a different power source, then you might want a different resistor, or maybe not even a resistor at all. So, to get the party line so that all of the telephones have access, is that each telephone is connected to one ring, and each telephone is connected to one tip, and they're all connected together, and then power is applied to the ring, and then the negative end is powered to the tip. Now, what I like about telephones is that it doesn't matter. I could put the positive on the tip and the negative on the ring. I could put the resistor on negative or positive, it doesn't matter. The telephones will normally figure that kind of thing out. So if you'd like to do this at home, there's a very simple way, and I can link a video that I believe Radio Shack made on how to do this. But this is a basic diagram. So you basically connect two telephones together, but you want to split the cable in the middle. Keep one of them intact, in this case I use the green, which is tip, and then cut one of the little wires in half, then attach your 9-volt and 300 ohm resistor, and that will power the whole operation. Now, due to how this is wired up, only 2 telephones will work, and so if you want to use more than 2, you'll want to copy what I've done in my party line box. And then another little thing is that you don't need it to be a 9-volt battery and a 300 ohm resistor. It could be 9 to 50 volts, as long as it's DC, and it can be coming from a battery or a power supply or whatever else. I mean, if you want to hook it up to a wind turbine, that will work too. And then, of course, you want to make sure that it's current limited, so that it doesn't draw too much, because each phone draws a certain amount. And so even though you could theoretically have an infinite amount of telephones off of one 9-volt battery, if you have like 10 or 20, your 9-volt battery isn't going to last very long. In fact, it may not even be able to work at all if you have that many phones. So I suggest if you're going to have multiple on a 9-volt battery, you should probably go at most 4 or 5. If you have any comments or questions about the show, or would like to suggest topics for future shows, drop me a line at romeocat128.wixsite.com/home.